creeping in a little bit of inspiration, but I'm just.
But here we go, though. Here we go. This is it. This is the championship finale. It's Midzi versus Race Roller. And they're on the front row together. The lights are counting down now. There are 10 lights. They are out. And we are away. It looks like they've both got a pretty decent start compared to Nikki. And look how much of a lead they've got on the pair of them into turn one. As further behind, Nikki and Corey are scrapping it out. As is Bezzers and Riggs, I believe that is. But it is Midzi who's got the better start. And he leads Roller away. But Roller is right in his wheel tracks. The gap's 0.2 of a second between them. And this initial lap here for Roller is going to be crucial if he wants to potentially put himself in a commanding position, as I can see there's position changes all over the place. Roller's a little bit of a wiggle. And now Nicky is going to be rinsing his ERS. He's going to be trying to get past him. Roller's on the mediums, so it's in Nicky's best interests to get ahead of Roller as early as he can. He's thinking about a move and he sent it on the inside. Oh, he nearly contacted with Midzi. But he's made contact with Roller, and Roller does manage to get back through. As now Corey's battling it out. But wow, Nicky went for a massive send there, and it nearly ended in tears. But he's retaken that P3 from Corey. Clearly running a very low downforce setup is Nicky, as he was mighty on the straight compared to Corey. But wow, that is a very interesting start. And already Midzi's broken the second on Roller. He's not messing about, and he is going for that. And he's going to try and use those softer tyres to his advantage in these early stages.
Yeah, 100% sure. 100% sure. Of course, as we saw, the really interesting to see off the start, and Riggs has overtaken Bezzers. That was into turn one, and further in right at the end of the first set there, Griffiths actually went for a move on Bezzers. However, they came together a little bit, which would have been really interesting because the two teammates of our championship protagonists, they came together a little bit, and Ogri managed to get up the inside of Griffiths into the hairpin. So it was really, really close throughout the field, and we still are. I mean, there's only one gap that's over a second further down from Roller. In fact, that's gone now. So it is going to be a long train of people just making sure they don't make any mistakes.
Someone who had a mega start in all of that is Czech. He got knocked out in Q1, remember, and starting on the softs, it will be a fresh set of softs, as he would have had that spare after getting knocked out in Q1, has already got up into P12. And he is going to be extremely fast on these softs. As now we're having a look at power on his fresh mediums. And he's overtaken Jam here. He's going for the move. And yes, Para moves up into P9. Very good position at the moment. He's Para on those fresh mediums.
He had a slight spinner at the back. I wonder if maybe that was a bit of a contact between V2 and Shut Medal. Shut Medal's fallen to the back of the pack, in V2 has kind of lost a little bit of time there. As already, look at that. I mean, Para's back in that second window. You can gain the time quite quickly back on those ahead of you when you are in a train like this. It can sometimes be a little bit easier to pick up those gaps.
Indeed, it can be just that concertina effect, especially in the last set here. But entering lap 3, P1 Midzi, he's broken 1.8 seconds on Roller here. There's a 38.4. Roller does a 39 flat, and the gap is absolutely massive between the two of them. And Roller now has got to try and break the DRS of Nicky, because we knew Nicky was quite quick on a straight line on his first lap. I think that showed that. So Roller really needs to break the DRS on Nicky if he wants to make sure that he stays ahead of him. At the moment, it does look like Nicky has the DRS, so this could be very, very interesting. If Nicky does have that straight line speed, potentially could interfere with Roller here. This is very important for Roller's race. That he stays ahead of
it's
Nicky
key
at this
as
phase.
well that Corey is outside of that zone. I mean, Nicky's not going to go for it here. He's got quite a bit less ERS, well, not a massive amount less, but he has got fair bit less than Roller. But he's going to try and I think he's trying to gain as much as he can through that first straight. He is a clever person with his racecraft, is Nicky. He knows what he's doing. He knows when he wants to make the overtakes.
He's got a massive overspeed here,
go.
and he's going to go round the outside. Can Roller hold it in on the inside? Nicky's holding it on the outside. He jumps over the curves and he's got the position. Did he cut the corner there?
Yeah,
I think there to get ahead of Roller.
That's probably an illegal overtaking. Yeah, he's let Roller
he's
back
had to get that
there.
place up. And Roller's wiggling his wheel. He's showing that he's a bit annoyed with Nicky for that move, as that's lost him a lot of time to Midzi. And well, I mean, yeah, Nicky perhaps a bit overzealous there, if we're being nice, with that move on Roller.
Yeah, I mean, it's the second time he's done that, and Nicky really wants to get past, and it makes sense. I mean, it's only logical. He's clearly faster than Roller, of course, on the softer tyres, but as it stands, he just can't quite get that move done.
Yeah, as in the chat, Connor is saying that Nicky's clowning a bit. Yeah, I mean, he certainly has good pace, though. That's one thing that can't be denied. But I'm just amazed, kind of, at how these top three have broken away from the train for P4. You got Riggs at the helm of it, Corey behind, and
yeah,
it's like there's two different races going. It's like there's two different races going, or three different races if you include Midzi just on his own there, 2.4 seconds ahead of Roller.
Yeah, it's a bit like that. Well, that train is that's a very long train there. There is going to be a couple moves, though, potentially. I see Czech and Crazy Griefer going side by side. Oh, there's been a coming together there. Bezos has just hit the back of Corey going into the chicane.
Oh, was Crazy Griefer's gone as well. Crazy Griefer's gone as well. I'm going to cut back on board with Nicky. Is he doing the same thing?
Damage there. I really wouldn't be surprised if Bezos has got damage. Nicky's past Roller now as well. He's managed to get past him into the triple chicane.
Yeah, that is up into P2. He's uses extra straight line speed, and I hope he doesn't do what I think he's going to do here in third sector, Nicky. He's made voices very vocal of who he would rather win, and
yeah, you can.
It does look like he is holding up Roller a bit. Yeah. It does look like he is driving a bit deliberately slowly. I've got to say that's a bit of a shame, but he's not doing anything illegal, is Nicky? He gave the position back when he got the illegal overtake. He's not forced Roller off or anything. He's made a move.
Yeah,
and
he's got an early pit stop. Mr. Rugby is in his pits.
Yeah, he's going for the soft medium from there. Lap 4 is the optimal lap to box for the soft medium to stop, because that is the lap 5, lap 6 are the laps where the softs begin to drop off significantly. And as we've seen at the front of this train, you said Bez has hit Corey a bit. Yeah. That is a very, very slow-moving train, you can say. And Mr. Ogby wants to get that fresh air, and he's going for that aggressive two-stop.
Yeah, sometimes you can just get
really
a bit clustered when you're in a big train like this, and that looked to be like what happened. And Corey was just braking to make sure he stood behind Riggs. In fact, Bezos has now overtaken Corey, and yeah, Bezos just kind of hit his back end a little bit. I'm surprised Bezos didn't pick up any damage, and he managed to actually get past Riggs on that lap as well, because going into kind of this section where we are now is when...
Oh, sorry to cut over you. Roller's on the inside of Nicky. Roller's down the inside of Nicky, and he's made the move stick. He's made the move stick, and he's got it cleanly, and Roller has got past Nicky, so
he will have wanted
he stayed
to do
within
that,
Nicky's DRS,
100%.
And yeah, that's absolutely needed. And with Nicky running a bit of a low downforce setup, that's going to mean that Roller's going to gain an awful lot in the final sector as well. But
yeah, especially with that tyre wear as well, as you were saying, that the tyre wears, the softs do begin to sort of go off a little bit or lose their edge compared to the mediums around this stage of the race, of that first stint. And I mean, yeah, he's lost a little bit of time, but he's not out of the DRS zone just yet. I'm sure Nicky's going to be using a bit of his DRS to just make sure that he stays within that 1 second and perhaps go again at that same corner next lap.
Yeah, I think so. It does look like at the moment Roller has broken the DRS, and he's gained an awful lot of Midzi as well. So I think this is the stage of the race where the mediums are becoming quicker than the softs. So Roller, I do expect him in the next few laps to reel Midzi in and obviously break away from Nicky whilst that's going on. And yes, a very interesting phase of the race. He lost a few seconds. Of course, he lost a decent bit of time when fighting with Nicky as well, but...
Yeah, you were right when you said he broke the DRS, but Nicky will have it for this second straight, despite having no DRS, however.
Yeah, of course, it's quite good for Nicky's race as well, actually. It's quite good for Nicky's race, actually, that he's got that DRS. It's just going to give him a bit more lap time. Staying with Roller is going to pull him away from Bezos, as he's looking very comfortable at the moment for podium, Nicky. He's 3.6 seconds ahead of Bezos, and that train, yeah, it's absolutely massive, and yeah, it's very slow moving at the moment.
Yeah, I think probably this time next lap, I don't think Nicky will have it have that DRS again for the second day. I may be proven wrong there, but his ERS is so low. Rollers isn't as high. I mean, Midsy's got plenty of ERS as well. Looking at it, going around the track at the moment, it's very tight. That train from kind of P4, that battle for P4, so many cars in there, and they're all just filtering through. Right the way down to P18, it's all one big train, and it's mad.
Yeah, it is mad. Bez is at the helm of it, and interestingly as well, if you have a good look at the gap to leader, no matter what happens, when Midsy pits, he's going to come out behind this train, and he's going to have to pit quite early. He'll have to pit in the next 3 laps or so, in lap 8, lap 9, lap 10, and he's going to come out behind this train. Obviously, half of that train are going to disappear for mediums and themselves, as the vision I can see makes a move on check into the chicane, but
what will be key when we do see that, though, of course, Griffiths is part of that train at the moment, and he is, of course, Roller's teammate, and they've had their few spats as well so far with Griffiths and Nicky. So, I mean, we could potentially see almost similar to what Nicky was maybe doing with Roller, similar with Griffiths and Mitzi, maybe not quite to the extent, it might be quite hard, but for Griffiths to do such, but yeah, it'll be very interesting as Roller's gained a bit more time back on Midzy now, of course, as we were saying about
yeah, no surprises there. No surprises there at all. Those tyres, it's going to be a massive tyre difference between them. As I'm having a look as well, the battle for P4, Corey staying quite nicely with Bezos. They lost a lot in the first few laps to the top 3, but now Corey's quite happy to stick behind Bezos and valuing the general speed of the train rather than getting the potential move on Bezos. He's just sticking behind, saving his battery. He saw Bezos' light just flashing that lap.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about back to last week, and I am actually quite surprised that Roller's gone for this strategy, considering how, well, it's very similar to what we've kind of got now, where, of course, Roller did, well, Midzy last week started on the mediums, and he struggled a lot to get through the pack. And he tried the alternate strategy. I mean, Roller has got the fact this time that he is starting P2, and he has got that bit of a gap. But it is interesting still to see that he took that risk to go on the mediums. It'll be interesting to see if it does pay off.
Yeah, I think what's going to be key here is how Midzy gets through the drivers who have started on the mediums. That is the big key here, because when he pits, he's going to come out behind all of them in this train, and
he may even come out behind.
I don't think the likes of Mertz and Zydrad, for obvious reasons, will fight Midzy too hard when he does pit, but especially if he does catch up to him, for example, Griffiths. That is a very, very key phase in this race, and something's very, very important. As Corey thinks about a move on Bezos has to go defensive.
It's gone very deep, very deep.
Yeah, they've lost a lot of time again, that train. It seems like Bezos' tyres are not looking particularly great, and now Corey's going to try and go around the outside here. Start on sector 3, are Bezos going to hold it in there? He's thinking about
solid
it,
move, very solid move there. A bit of a
go.
bottleneck throughout the field there, and Jams managed to make a very late lunge on Para, and it's actually done quite well. I mean, Para's managed to get the move back there, but that was, yeah, I mean, it was a massive bottleneck after that move. 2 cars. Nick Bezos kind of slammed on the brakes going into that little slight right kink, as Nicky has pitted, as well as Bezos and Riggs.
Yeah, a lot of these guys who are in this train have elected to come into the pits. They've decided that they do not like the soft compound tyres anymore, and they should be going to the end on the mediums from here. Jam's gone! Jam's lost his wing! That is...
Oh, yeah, that's a nasty crash, that. He's fortunate not to be out of the race.
Yeah, that would have been massive. If it had been out of the race, the likelihood is that would have been a safety car, and that would have been ginormous for the championship.
Oh, yeah.
With, of course, Midzy on the soft. Yeah.
I mean, look, I've just looked at that gap again, and Roller's now almost back within DRS. I think Midzy's pitting this lap. I think Midzy will pit this lap.
I think he will do, yeah. he does still have that lead, which is quite important. I think I'm a little bit surprised. Oh, there's another yellow flag.
This jam again, and Bezos is round as well, I believe, or at least he's had a moment, I think, because he's fallen even further down. Yeah, Bezos must have had a moment, maybe not just then, but must have been quite large.
Or it might have just been overtaken by Riggs potentially, because they came into the pits really close together. So
what I'm really confused that, however, oh, never mind. I'm clowning. I was really confused. Never mind. Forget what I said. Corey has lost 2 positions there. I think Corey's just had a bit of a moment in sector 3.
Yeah, maybe let his teammate go as well, as Mitzi is now in the pits. And this is key to see where he'll come out. I expect he'll come out in a decent bit of clean air ahead of Nicky. As the yellow flag in sector 3, someone's lost it.
I think
again.
It's just Jam again. I think he's just letting people through.
Out of the way.
He's on, of course, he's got very high damage after that spin at turn 3. And as you say, they're coming out of the pits now. I expect Midgy to be coming out very shortly, and he will be just at the end of this train here. Crazy Grief is setting fast. That division has spun now as well.
Yes, indeed he has. Thankfully, again, he's not retired from the race. But yeah, Midzy made that pit stop, and he kept the position on Nicky, and well, that shows how big that undercut is actually as well from him, from Nicky, as he was about 3 seconds back, and he's lost a lot of time to him.
I think he was a good 3 seconds back on Roller, so yeah, that really was, I would say probably like 5-6 seconds was probably the gap between Nicky and Midzy, and they are really close, almost within DRS range in fact, as Division has received a 10-second time penalty. Not quite sure how, but he is right at the back of the pack now, other than Jam, of course, who's just hit it again.
Potentially had to cut the chicane to let someone through or something like that. I don't know. Or maybe he was just letting people go on his hot tyres. Maybe you've got some damage and stayed off the track for too long.
Yeah, that might be.
Yeah, this is now key laps to this race though for Midzy. That's Crazy Grief for some penalty because
there hasn't been that many penalties so far, which I think is definitely one to praise. I mean, it's not exactly the hardest track to stay penalty 3. I mean, myself I didn't, but that was for other reasons of very much clowning. But other than that, yeah, I mean, looking at this now, Midzy has got a bit of a 3-second window here where he can gain back up on this train. But when he does, he's going to have 7 cars, all of which he will be fighting for position. Of course, there'll be a couple there that I think he'll probably get a bit of an easier way through, maybe. But still, it's going to be tough. And of course, he's looking the likes of Griffiths as well in that, of course, being Roller's teammate. And depending on how far we get, he may even catch up to him. As there's been another yellow flag, I think it's Division again. I think he may have missed it.
Yes. No, he's gone into the pit, so he has got in. He's got in the pit entry, thankfully.
Yeah,
but
I don't.
He's now retired in the pits.
He has indeed, and I'm not 100% sure. He actually didn't have any wing damage, which was interesting. I just looked at that, and he didn't actually have any wing damage. He just had that spin and that was it.
V2, whilst that's gone on, has passed Merckx. And Merckx is going to be the first. Oh, there's Arbon's also passed Zydrad, but yeah, I think this division's car is going to come out. But I do think the way this is shaken up. This is if Midzy could ask for any car that he'd want to be directly ahead of him at this moment, it would probably be Merckx. I would say, or probably that would be number 2 to his teammate, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, we saw
they are very,
on
very
Twitter
good
earlier that Merckx is definitely on Team Midzy. As obviously, if you're not exactly new to the league, you're not going to be surprised by that at all. But yeah, there'll be probably, I'd like to thinking they'll be swapping around, maybe even potentially a bit of a tow might give them to Midzy, maybe down that straight. I mean, he's right on him, and it's we're still in the first sector, so let's try to see how it goes.
Yeah, I expect it to be a relatively easy DRS pass from Midzy on Merckx here. He'll get the DRS here, and then shouldn't lose too much time as yet. He's gonna come up to him, and what's key as well is he needs V2 to not get the DRS on Arbon and Zydrad, because
doesn't currently.
That would make that move very, very easy as well. And this could be up until Griffiths actually. quite an easy ride through the traffic for Midzi, as I know that Zydrad is probably going to want to not put up too much of a fight either. So...
Yeah, Zydrad might
yes,
not be wanting to put up a fight with Midzi, but he definitely is putting the fight up against Arbon, as I believe Jam's gone round again. Oh, that's
I wonder
so
whether he's got wheel issues again.
He had a really
but
good
he's really
start
struggling at
to
turn
Rex.
3.
And yeah, since then he's really struggled, as Bez has actually just lost the race to Crazy Griefer. So Griefer's actually doing quite well, all things considered, looking at where he is.
Actually, Jitto's one that's kind of popped up out of nowhere as well.
Yeah, he's kind of at the back of that train, and he's just been overtaken by Corey. But yeah, he's going to be right in that train now as well. I mean, and he'll probably even be impacting it by the time Roller comes into pit. That'll probably be in about 6, 7, 8 laps time, I would guess, if he hasn't got any safety cars.
V2 has decided to pit, so he's committed to the 2 stop, it looks like, and that's massively helped Midzi that he's got V2, because
yeah, he'll be outside.
Another person. He's had an incredibly unobscured and an incredibly easy ride through the traffic. Both Midzi and Roller at some point are going to have to get through traffic.
Yeah, as Arbon has actually
just
moved out of the way to let him through. So I mean, that just really shows that Midzi's really had a nice, easy, clean way through, which is definitely helping him out. And he's got the DRS down for this next straight as well, as he may try to get.
As he's weaving his wheel. I don't know whether he's saying maybe thank you to Arbon.
Yeah, I think that might be a thank you. Or telling
Zydrad, please, please let me go.
I mean, he's gonna.
Please, I need it.
I was gonna say, yeah, he'll have DRS here as well, so he's. I'd like to think it'll be reasonably cut and dry for him as well on Zydrad. Yeah, it's a pretty simple move as well. Arbon's
I can't say there's any surprises there, but the next driver though. Now this is where it gets interesting, and this, for me, is potentially the key fight and the key move for Midzi's championship.
Yeah.
Because the next driver he is coming up to is Roller's teammate, SLR Griffiths. They came together last week, and well, I do not expect Griffiths to be giving Midzi an easy time here. And wow, I mean, I'm going to stay on board with this because this is absolutely key. However, Griffiths has nearly lost the DRS to Para. I saw it went to about 9 tenths.
They've been squabbling the last few laps. I don't think anyone's got any damage, but they have been swapping a lot throughout this race, as Power and Griffith. So I really don't know exactly where it will go for him, where roughly he will come out exactly. It will be just a case of whenever. He will probably have it. Oh, actually, it might be close. I think he will just about have it. Yeah, he does have it just, but it's straight. I think it'll be probably another lap or 2 before Midzi does catch, but when he does, you can definitely tell that he's gonna get a bit heated. We don't say no to a bit of
we
drama.
We don't want any incidents together, particularly between them. But yeah. I mean, it'd be nice if it was relatively clean, but of course. Yeah, Griffiths is going to defend his position. He's going to defend it hard, and hopefully it's but hopefully I should say it's hard but fair. That's what we want. We don't want the collision resulting in a spin for Midzi, for example. That would, as Connor has commented, this is whole of grid versus Roller and Griffiths.
It does feel a bit like
going by that. That's a pretty decent summary, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, one person that was definitely against Roller earlier on was Nicky, and Nicky's not far off of Midzi at the moment. He's only 3 seconds or so. He's actually just coming up to the back of Zydrad currently. Yeah. He's made his way through very nice and easily. He's
of course, he had that gap as well,
didn't he? He's just gone through everyone. So Nicky would definitely
but here we are.
looking to maybe play a little bit of a part. He'll definitely come out ahead, so he'll definitely be ahead of Roller by the time Roller pits. So that could again be something very interesting.
Midzi is now approaching Para Quicks, be the next person for him to pass, and as Para does decide to let him go, he's not wanting to impact in the championship fight whatsoever.
Yeah, Para again was one that he said he
but here we are.
A bit of a P.
Here we are, though. This is it, really.
It is. One thing to note as well,
Griffiths
is really low on ERS, so it could be the case it's going to be a really simple overtake. but it may not be the case. So look at the traction
But
Midzi
here
has
we are.
there.
Is Griffiths going to be able to defend this? Or is this going to be an easy move for Midzi? He goes to the right-hand side, opens the DRS, and yes, it is. It is an easy move from Midzi. So that's a bit of an anticlimax, but he has managed
I looked at the batteries before then, and I think it was quite clear that it was going to be pretty simple. Midzi had pretty much double, and you could see battery light was flashing at Midzi, so you could tell it was going to be a simple move really there, which is unfortunate. But because, well, it's not unfortunate if you're Midzi, but if you're Roller or Griffiths, that's definitely unfortunate. As now Midzi's got a free pass all the way there to a Roller who's just gone through turn 1 now.
Yes, of course, Roller could potentially end up getting through the traffic just as easily as well when he eventually pits. To see Midzi go off track to turn 1, he can't be doing that often. But yeah, the gap between the two of them now is 9 seconds with Midzi on those fresher tyres. However, Roller's new softs when he boxes onto them, I don't know whether it is a new set or a used set. I'm not 100% on that. But if it's a new set, they will be so much quicker than Midzi's tyres.
Oh yeah.
And potentially, if Roller can get through the traffic pretty easily himself, and he's not going to have as much of it, I don't think, as Midzi had.
Yeah, looking
this
at where
could
it
still
is
come
roughly,
down to the final reaches of the race.
Looking at that gap roughly, I'd expect probably Roller would come out somewhere between Crazy Griefer and kind of Chitto, probably around there is where my guess would be. I don't know the exact delta out of the pits, but my guess is probably in that sort of area there. So you have to make a few moves, but there is a few guys that are on the mediums currently that will be pitting as well. That will probably be within the next 5 laps.
Yes, as Beast has said that all this letting the title fighters through makes for poor viewing, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, obviously it would have been nice to have a bit of a Checo Perez moment potentially, as Roller now has decided now is the time to pit. He's gone on lap 16. He's gone very, very early.
That is very early. I'm actually quite surprised at that, big time. Be interested to see where it comes out, as there was actually quite a big scrap between Bez's Crazy Griefer and Corey at the time. It'll be interesting just to see where Bez's comes out. He's just finished his box now, and he's just hit the pit limiter. He's going under the bridge now. It will be very close to where Bez's and Corey are. Like I said,
this is
very close, in fact.
That may be why Roller has chosen now to pit.
Yeah. That's perfect, really, there. I think for Roller, who would have wanted to stay, make sure he got ahead of Bezos, and he definitely has done that.
Yes, and this is now the beginning of Roller's charge. This is the beginning of Roller's charge. Yes, he's going. As Nicky has now passed Griffiths.
He's going for
actually,
power
he's going for power as well. Oh, that is. He's managed to get the move on the pair of them, but Parrot is going to have DRS. And he is going to try and get back through. Is he? I'm not sure. He's not using his battery.
Yeah, I mean, Nicky's burning as much as possible to make sure he does stay. I think that'll be him sorted there. As again,
Zydrad, Riggs and Mr. Ogween are battling it out.
And that's right ahead of Roller as well, who's on his way.
Right ahead of him.
Right ahead.
Yeah,
Look how much he's caught up that battle there as well.
Nicely, yeah. I do hope Roller gets through quite nicely.
Yeah, nice and cleanly would be the best, and definitely what Roller will be hoping for. And yeah, these guys in the train here is probably not what Roller was thinking. He's caught them at a really awkward phase of the race as well. Really awkward phase of the track. Ogween pulls out of the way. He's not fighting. He's not fighting at all. Fair play. That's as Zydrad now peels into the pits. Ogween's also pitted as well. That's made it a little bit easier for Roller, but Riggs is still going to be, I'm sure, a hard fighter. Well, depending, we'll see. Although it's a very good run difference there. Riggs had a bit of a wobble there.
Yeah, I don't think Riggs really have anything to defend with, to be honest. And I mean, he's pretty entitled to defend his position, of course. But Riggs running extremely well, though. He's on for a podium himself. Actually, never mind, because Roller's pitted, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. He's on for a very strong result, potentially a P4 Riggs. He's doing some brilliant pace here.
Yeah,
it should be a relatively
just outside of Corey's penalty range as well. So yeah, he will be that exactly. Tell you what,
the two Scotsmen are going wheel to wheel here now. And yeah, Riggs is tucking him behind, but is he potentially going to get him back on the next straight? I think Roller will have so much more grip on his tyres.
Yeah, the exit, that was crucial there. Roller's just sent it away from him off on the exit there.
Yeah,
and now he's going to shoot down to his teammate, and I very highly doubt this is going to be a hard move
indeed.
for Roller.
I mean, if he gains 2 seconds in the final sector and Toby does hold him up a bit, then, I mean...
He's some very hard
fair enough,
words,
Roller, you have a lot of place. But, like... I do expect Griffiths to be pitting at the end of this lap, to be honest. I think that's...
Yeah,
he's not going to end up holding up Roller, and yeah. So here we are. These are the final 10 laps. Roller is on these fresh softs. He's 8 seconds behind Midzi. As his teammate Griffiths is now going to peel into the pits now. Yep.
Here we go. There is a yellow flag. I believe that's Jitto. It is Jitto's round. That's such a shame. He was doing a really good race as well with Jitto. He was running in P8, I think, around then, and he must have come together with somebody, or maybe just had a spin out of the third to last corner. That's a real shame for Jitto. Yeah.
Yes, it is. But yes, get in the chat now, though. Who's going to win this fight? Midzi or Race Roller? The gap is 7 seconds between Roller and Midzi. He's only got one car of SLR Nicky between him and Midzi 15 and him and the championship. This is what it's going to come down to. He needs to get this. He needs to get this gap down as fast as he can. Roller. As fast as he can.
He's slightly closer to. So there's about a 4-second gap between Nicky and Midzi, and it was very, very even between those two gaps. Between Nicky, kind of in the middle of those two, but it has very quickly gone towards the Roller is catching up. And I mean, looking at the interval as well to the leader, he's getting on his way, and he's coming. He's set fastest up at a race now as well, a whole second quicker than Nicky.
This is tense though. I've got butterflies in my stomach. He's closed in by about half a second on that middle sector, and well, yeah, he's absolutely romping towards his championship rival as Race Roller. He is.
Oh yeah.
He's only got one car to pass, but however.
Well, we know what happened earlier when Nicky got ahead of Roller, so we'll see.
A Southerner reckons that Nicky will decide the title. That's what he reckons. Nicky will decide the title. The gap is 1.7 between them. And let's have a look at Nicky's battery. Nicky's got 52%.
I think he'll have it. I think he may have it if it goes to plan here. I mean, he's a perfect first turn. I think he may just get, look at that, a nice little curb there.
Yeah, he needs to have a good chicane here. He potentially, if he gets DRS here, because he needs a good exit. No, he's not going to, not quite.
It's very close, but maybe with a little bit of a toe, he may just get that as another yellow flag.
Sector
That's
1.
Check.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. He was having a great recovery drive from Q1, but unfortunately has lost it.
You can tell the difference in Nicky's low downforce setup is he was actually pulling away from Roller down that straight then. I mean, Roller wasn't using any ERS, and Nicky's actually got quite a lot available to him. So he's got a lot of battery on there, about halfway.
Yeah, but he's not really been fighting. He's not really been fighting since he battled with Roller earlier on in the race, has he? He's been.
Watch the gaps now though, because I feel like the gap between Nicky and Midzi is going to plummet through this sector here. It's going to be so hard for Roller to overtake, and he is catching.
Yeah.
This is exactly what we had before. I don't think it's going to be quite as bad. I may be starting to be corrected, but it is definitely going down. Not as much as probably we were expecting, but he's lost a few tenths there.
Yeah, he's lost a bit of the freshness of his tyres as Roller, but he can still do this, though. He can still do this.
100%.
Mitzi's tyres, of course, are pitted. He pitted, I believe, on lap 9. Or was it lap 10?
It was lap 9.
Very early on.
Lap 9.
Yeah, very early on, Mitzi pitted, and Roller, they are going to be tyres that are going to wear out more, but they are at the moment going to be the much fresher tyres.
I think Midzi may have had a wobble through that turn 2 and 3 because Nicky gained a couple tenths on him through there. Looking at it,
very careful here. So now here we go, and
they've both saved up a lot of
this straight to make the move. Will Roller choose this straight to make the move, or will he choose the following one? Because the issue is with Nicky's setup. He's going to potentially
squeezing him off
a little bit. It's all fair and good though. Yeah, I think Roller's now setting Nicky
Yeah,
up.
Roller's done
He's
well
setting
there.
Nicky up.
He'll get a better exit, 100%.
That's very smart from Roller. That is very, very smart. He's saved it for
They're
the
both
second
on the airs
DRS
early.
zone, and he's got the ERS. And oh, it's going to be so close though. Can Nicky hold it in? Can Roller do it? He's made contact, and Nicky's gone.
Nicky's
gone.
round.
They've made contact with each other, and I think that's probably just. I've got to be honest, it's probably just a racing incident between the two of them.
Yeah, if I'm being honest there, it was a bit of a desperate lunge, very late from Nicky there, and he wasn't making the corner, he was going into Roller's side pod, and he made a lot of contact with Roller's side pod before that spin there. I think, realistically, there was only one way there, and I think that was definitely a racing incident.
Yes, indeed, and luckily it hasn't caused any damage to Roller, and we've got the fight that we now want. There is 0 cars between them. Midsy's on old mediums. Roller's on the softs. Can Roller close up and make the move on track? There's yellow in sector 3, I believe that is Merckx.
Yeah, I think it is.
That's Merckx. They're not causing a safety car, thankfully. Although a safety car, I have to say, for this top 2 battle, we put them both on a fresh set of softs, and close the gap to nothing, which I wouldn't complain at either. But here we go.
Yeah,
but here we go.
Roller's gained about a second already since he overtook Nicky, so he really is going for it. He's used a little bit of ERS, but I don't know, what situation would you do if you were Roller now? Would you burn the ERS to try and catch up and then save? Or would you save the ERS while you're catching up, while you've got the tyre advantage, and then go for the
good question. That is a good question, I don't know. I mean, the thing is that it could very much come down to tenths of a second of whether he's got the DRS on a certain lap, say Roller, and that would be very, very important. Say if he gets the DRS on lap 24, say, then that's going to gain him half a second just with that, just from using a little bit extra ERS to get into it. It could very much be tight one. As I'm now going to pause it and check the warnings of these two drivers, because that's another important thing. Midsy has got 2 warnings.
Roller's
on lap
got
16.
none. Roller hasn't got a
single Roller's
one.
got none. So that is. Oh, that
yeah,
is.
I've been keeping tabs when you were on board
on
Midsy earlier and he went deep into turn 1. That was actually his first warning, and I wasn't aware that he had his second one by then. Might have been when he had a bit of a wobble maybe that earlier on. But yeah, that gap's coming down. It's coming down fast. We're almost within that window now, and we've got another yellow flag. That is, I believe, it's Mr. Ogween. Oh, that's a shame. On those 2 stop, he was looking good, but that's unfortunately. It's a weird place to lose it, actually. On that curb.
Someone else has lost it. Crazy Grief has lost it. In the first sector, he's lost it in turn 3. Surprising we've not had anyone properly destroy their car from crashing at turn 3, but...
Yeah, for sure. As the gap is now down to 1.5 seconds.
Oh my god, this is...
Roller can see him.
This is
Roller
a fight
can see Midsy
to the end of the race. This is what we wanted. This is a proper fight between the two of them at the end of the race. They're going to end up having similar tyres at the end of the race. It's all going to come down to a wheel-to-wheel fight between the two championship contenders.
But if when Roller does make the move, his tyres will be that little bit quicker, but I feel like by the time we get to the end of the race, last few laps, Midsy's will be better.
I think the same as well. I think the same. Those last 2 laps of the race.
He went in early and it could come back to bite him. He's within the DRS now. He's within 1 second.
This is absolutely... This is it now. This is it now. The gap is 7/10 of a second between Midsy and Roller. We go on to lap 24. Roller's still got some decent pace. He's only lost a second on his PB lap time, a 1:38.5. That is very, very strong race pace at this stage of the race. Midsy's tyres aren't going to be feeling great as well at this stage. And this is it. This is a fight. This is the championship. His power's gone as well. But we don't care about that. We care about the fight at the front between Midsy 15 and Race Roller 22.
Yep, similar batteries. It's going to be now or never.
Here we go. Roller had a bit of a worse exit. Midsy's defending hard to the inside.
Midsy on the ERS very early on there as well.
Yes. He does not want Roller to get past him at all. But this is just going to allow Roller potentially an easier move on the following straight.
Oh, this there. Both of them.
Yes, Roller. Now getting
Roller's
the
got
power.
the better as well.
And he's going to go
Midsy's
around
light
the
flashing.
outside. Yeah, Midsy's light is flashing, and it's a clean move there from Roller, and he's taken the lead. But Ozzy's tyre's still okay. What are the tyre situation between the two of them?
Yeah, it won't be long until Roller's tyres start falling off. It's not over just yet. If anyone's a Midsy fan in the chat, it is not over yet. Not a chance.
It is not. It is not over at all. It is. Roller at the moment though has a lot better pace. Midsy's tyres themselves are not looking pretty.
He's actually outside of the DRS zone already of Roller.
Yes,
That's very.
This is huge. Roller has a lot of pace at the moment, and his tyres are not dropping off like we expected them to. And if anything, it's Midsy's tyres that are getting worse.
Yeah, we've got a yellow flag again. Monkey's round. That looks like at the triple chicane. Oh, as Roller had a big wobble at turn 3. He went slightly off the track there, but it was nothing too drastic in the end. He's pushing. Every time I see him go over that curb on that inside on the right-hand side, I get very worried. I feel I'm just have my heart in my mouth every time, thinking, could it be a spin? Could that end it? But he's really going full
There's another yellow
moment.
flag in sector 3. Para's crashed.
Out.
Para's crashed.
Safety car. We've got that safety car.
As if.
And that is
This
really
is-
interesting.
This is.
I can't believe I'm saying this.
This is a
That's-
safety car.
It's the same corner as well.
It is the same corner as the Tifa
Same
crashed.
corner, yeah.
Para has crashed on the last possible lap for a safety car. And what do these two do here? What do these two do? Do they
If
stay out? Do they
Rollers
pit?
game. He's left a lot of time on that delta. I really don't know. I feel like Roller's got a bit of a gap here where he can maybe hit. I don't know whether he'd come out ahead of Riggs though. I feel like the likes
The issue
of Riggs,
is
these
that Riggs,
medium runners.
Nicky, Corey and Bezzers, they would all be ahead of them. All of them.
Yeah.
What do they do? What do they do? Roller
Stays
has
out.
made the decision to stay out. He's made
Midsy
the decision
boxed.
to stay out. And Midsy has boxed. Wow, what is Riggs going to do here?
Well. This
Riggs
is
has
very
decided to box.
We're not
Nicky
going to
has
have
decided
that
to
many
stay
laps of
out.
racing. I think by the game's mechanics, I think we'll be in at this lap. Mitty with a fresh set of softs. He's not the only person to pit either. Nicky's going to be P2 and Corey's going to be P3. As we've seen with Roller and Nicky already multiple times this race, it's not over. Mitty's P4 as well.
Yeah, he's P4. He's P4. So he's got to pass Nicky. He's got to pass Corey. And then he can get after Race Roller on his fresh soft tyres at the end of the race. I cannot believe this is...
If I'm being completely honest, I think it was probably the wrong call from Roller to... I feel like he should have just stayed out and held his position. He had the advantage over Midsy. I think he should have boxed, but I feel like there was a chance that Midsy was just going to do the opposite regardless. Yeah, if I'm being completely honest,
going to come in at the end of this lap. Yeah, the issue is that Roller would have come out behind Midsy's teammate. Bezzers would have seen that Roller had pitted, and Bezzers probably would have
safety
stayed
car's
out.
in this lap as well.
Yes, it's come in, and it's come in with about half of the field
Very
not fully
spread out.
closed up. Very spread out.
Midsy is
the
on the
key
back of this
thing
train
for
though.
Midsy
The
here-
top
The
5,
key
6
thing
cars.
is
will be together.
Midsy's move on Corey. That's the key thing. Corey is going to fight this. We know for a fact he is. And this is...
Corey will be in that party with Roller as well. He'll try
he will.
his hardest, I'm sure.
This is incredible. This is 2 laps here.
Nicky
Midsy
will
is gonna
try
get
his best
past
to
2
try and maybe get
drivers.
for a little lunge on Roller as well,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, but here we are. Midsy, he saved a fresh set of softs for this exact reason. As Roller's going to be backing up the pack, backing Nicky up. As Nicky has passed Roller there, that's a bit of a weird one. He's passed Roller for a little bit.
Roller's had a good restart there.
As Roller is now gone. So this is it. Midsy, 2 drivers to stand between him and fighting with Roller. Corey's going to go very defensive into turn 1. As Mitzi's going to try to switch
very
back.
well to read that.
And he's made the move stick. No, Corey's trying to hold it in there, and Corey's actually done brilliantly there, but he's had a little bit of a wobble. And that's it. Oh, he's made contact with Mitzi. He's made contact with him, and Corey has spun round. And now we're going to go. I'm not sure how to think about that, but Mitzi and Corey have made contact. Corey had a little bit of a moment. I don't know whether that sent him into Mitzi, or whether Mitzi did not really much from at all from that. But
Mitzi was on the kind of the outside of that track. Corey had a weird line through the S there, and look at that. Nicky's let Roller through.
So this is it. This is it. This is identical to real life. We have Mitzi versus Race Roller for the title on the final lap. Roller is on old tyres. Mitzi is on fresh softs.
You know,
and the gap
Mitzi
is
through that final sector as
absolutely
well.
nothing.
Fastest sector 2 of all so far.
Absolutely nothing. This is it. They are going to be battling on the final lap. Who can win this title? Mitzi is Verstappen here. Roller is Hamilton. Roller will be screaming in his cockpit, and Mitzi's going to be absolutely loving this. I cannot imagine how high each of their heart rates is as this is going on the final lap. As the gap is now 0.3 of a second. DRS will not be enabled because of the safety car. So it is just purely on a battle, on a wheel-to-wheel fight. And who is going to come out on top? Roller has that all-important track position, but Mitzi has those fresher tyres. He's absolutely just pushing Roller around in this section.
Yeah, we're not going to have DRS of course as well.
We're not going to have DRS, but Mitzi is just so much quicker at the moment. Roller's going to make his car the widest Red Bull possible. He's trying to take the widest line he possibly can, as now Mitzi puts on his ERS. He's gonna go on the inside. Roller's forcing him as far to the inside as he possibly can. This is all about how late Mitzi brakes here. Oh, he's gonna go down the inside here. As he made the move stick, it looks like he has. But this is all about Roller and whether he can get a good run here.
It wasn't a great run.
All of his ERS. He's going to use all of his ERS. He's got a bit more than Mitzi though. Can he make the move into the triple chicane on the final lap? This is it between them. This is the title. Roller and Mitzi side by side. Oh, they've made contact. They've both gone round. And Roller is ahead. And now Nicky has taken the lead. But Roller is ahead of Mitzi. That's now going into the final sector. Absolutely nothing as Mitzi sent it on the inside. They've made more contact, and they're still going side by side. He's pushed him off, and they're still battling out.
Mitzi's got a penalty.
Mitzi picks up a last lap penalty. Mitzi's picked up a last lap penalty. As now Roller goes defensive. On the run up to the line.
Side by side going up to the line.
On the run up to the line. It is Roller who takes it. Nicky takes the victory. Griffiths P2, Roller P3, Bezos P4, Zyder P5, Riggs P6, Mitzi P7. But this is going down. This is going to stewards. This is 100% going to stewards.
That's clear.
And
there was a couple incidents there where I think it could really play importance there, if I'm being completely honest. In those last two, just from a neutral point of view, I thought that, of course, there's the clear and obvious one, isn't there? But that one with that Corey coming off as well, I thought that could have been the one. I feel like Corey would probably send that in potentially, but we'll see.
But Mitzi and Roller, they made contact on that final lap twice. The first one, of course.
I think both of those guys will be recording their last laps of that race.
I think they will do. But one thing that is for sure is that Nicky has won the race. Griffiths is P2, but there is huge question marks on the ending of that race. And wow, I mean, you could not have scripted that anymore. But I am just completely and utterly speechless. I have absolutely no words for what I've just seen in that finale. That is incredible. I'm going to get Nicky in the party. I'm going to get Griffiths. I'm going to get and I'm
I'll
gonna
sort that.
probably get, probably gonna need to get Roller and Midzy in as well. But
Don't do that.
wow, that
Just
is
don't do that.
yeah.
At the right time.
It's probably best to just get Nikki and Griffiths in the party. I don't. But yeah, I mean, Nikki has won the race. Griffiths has got second, and provisionally, Race Roller is the champion. Provisionally, however, there were 3 big incidents in those last few laps that are certainly going to be coming down. It's going to come down to the steward's room. It's going to come down probably to the appeals room as well. And wow, I mean, I am completely lost for words at what I've just seen. That is an incredible finale. That is you could not write. I'm still speechless. I mean,
Yeah.
wow, that is not how we like things to go at all. But wow, that is.
Well, fastest lap of the race goes to SLR Jam. He's got a 36.4. So in P15, congratulations to Jam on the fastest lap. And we're just waiting to get back in the lobby, but we've got our podium 3 in the party, and it's we have a I do have a feeling it's going to stewards, but we do have our provisional McKeon division. Yep, nice one. McKeon division champion in the party in Race Roller 22.
Yes, indeed we do. But yes, I have to say, just on multiple levels, that final lap is not really what we want to see. We wanted to see a clean fight between them, and they've made contact about 4 times in the final lap. And yeah, whichever way those incidents go, even if they're racing incidents, that is not what we want to see. And but yes, anyway, yes. I will start off with Roller. We'll start off with Roller. Well, provisionally, you are the champion. There's a few incidents that did happen on the final lap. I'm undoubtedly sure that there's going to be at least one incident sent in either way from both of you. First of all, congratulations on your drive, and second of all, generally just talk us through it. Obviously, want to keep discussions about what happened on that final lap to a minimum. We'll just let that be whatever that be dealt with formally, whatever that may be. But yeah, just generally just talk us through your feelings, and of course, first of all the start, second of all closing in on the softs, third of all your feelings with the safety car, and fourth of all just generally how you feel.
Yes, what we were saying.
Yeah, understandably so, of course. Understandably so.
Just quick, I apologise for interrupting, but somebody's just put in the general chat that you haven't got your audio included, Roller. So apparently the stream can't hear you, mate.
Brilliant. Nice move.
What?
Get good then.
That's weird.
I'll
Maybe it's
find
tick
out.
the box registering for Toby's scream only. Weird. But
Yeah, I can confirm. Sorry.
Yeah, indeed. Moving on. Obviously, I guess deal with whatever comes from that later. Now on to Griffiths. Well, in all of that, you've got P2. So, how do you think that generally went for you?
It seemed
Being
to.
happy with the P2.
It seemed to everything went wrong until lap 28. My qualifying was terrible. I was the same position as well, though. I was trying to get through to Q3 on softs, spun on my first lap, and then spun and got damage on my second. Somehow managed to get through, though. Set a banker as a 35-1. I was 3.5 tenths up on my next lap, invalidated at penultimate corner, and then I spun on the following lap. So that was my qualifying. Started the race on mediums. Pace felt quite good at the start, but as soon as we started getting to clear air, my tyres started wearing more and going off, so the pace started slipping quite a bit. Me and Zydrad were battling, obviously, on alternate strategy, and then the safety car, I just decided to pit. In hindsight, I don't think I would have, but it's the decision I decided to go with. And amongst all the chaos, plus with penalties, I managed to get myself into P2. So, not a bad way to end the season, really. It'd been nice to have had a win at some point in the season, and I think Australia probably was my best bet at that. But it still puts me in a good position going into next season, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I just want to say congratulations provisionally on the title race, Wilder. I know this will be looked at probably for a while yet, but you're an amazing teammate, you're a great guy, so if you have won, you thoroughly deserve it, mate. Well done. And also congratulations to Nikki on the win. Thank you.
Yes, and now on to Nikki, and well, after all of that, you've come home in P1 and you've won the race. Well, from being backwards after a collision with Roller, a few laps to go, that's you've ended up getting that safety car. You ended up staying out, and then the two championship protagonists collided ahead of you, and you've come home with a victory. I don't think you did. I'm pretty sure you didn't do anything pen-worthy at all that race. It looked like a relatively quiet race, so that is going to be back-to-back victories for you to end the season in the McKeon division. So yeah, just how do you feel?
I think I have never seen anyone shithouse to win like this, to be honest. I don't know. I try to keep it. Yeah, go on. Basically, I should be the champ, not gonna lie, but yeah. Low wings seems to work. Try to keep it clean with Roller. Managed to keep it clean, a little bit contact, but remove. Yeah, I think that's the biggest shithouse win in SLR history, so. Yeah.
Yeah, the most.
I don't know.
Yeah, and the win that's like that no one's really going to pay attention to because
no one probably.
Still a very, very strong drive from yourself though, and congratulations on the victory.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean that's all we've got time for. I mean, stay tuned for the race report coming out for the outcome of whatever we just saw on lap 28, but that is all we've got time for. Provisionally, Race Order 22 is your champion. So there we have it. And, well, I think that was what everyone expected Hamilton versus Verstappen to actually be going into the final lap of the season. But yeah, we've got it here. So there we are. Thank you for watching. And few weeks off until the beginning of March for the start of the next season. But yeah, please join us for season 8. Thank you all for watching SLR throughout this entire season, and And over and out.